Hi everyone, Steve Wolf here. Just starting my blog again, my YouTube channel. Why the hell I just left like 3 months without posting? Basically because, well, I was really busy. That's a problem with dealing with working full-time in healthcare, and also personal training, and my bodybuilding prep for this year, for getting the professional card, and so many things at the same time. It's kind of hard, but well, here I am. So one of the things I want to start posting about is something that we'll do it during the year several times to remind all the viewers about what should be like the ultimate, or my own view of nutrition, because nutrition is the most important thing when it comes to results. It can be performance, it can be aesthetics, but in the end, results. So one of the things is I want to start is with insulin sensitivity. As everybody knows, carbohydrates, fats, and the pancreas, they all have this kind of love-hate relationship where they try to depend one on the other for energy purposes. So everybody knows what carbohydrates are, everybody knows what type of carbohydrates are around. Everybody knows the kind of carbohydrates that suit them better. Well, they should know, because there's people around who's still eating brown rice and broccoli and eating rice cakes and all this 1990s stuff. So meanwhile, there's people who was getting shredded eating cereal and tortillas. So the problem with carbohydrates is everybody thinks they need them. Everybody thinks they need carbohydrates. Everybody thinks they need to be spiking the blood sugar every 3 hours, which is a huge mistake, because not everyone, although we are like physiologically the same, we are biochemically a little bit different pH levels in our blood, different metabolic rates, and so on. So the problem with carbohydrates is people thinking they need it all the time, and people don't need it all the time. You have to remember, and there's common ways to know that. One of them is like, how long can you go through the day without carbohydrates? In my case, I can get up in the morning, go to my whole day without carbohydrates until 3 p.m. where I start already feeling it, that I need something, and I will have any kind, cereal, oatmeal, bread, you name it. I will use my pre-workout, and sometimes I have a post-workout, and sometimes I don't have carbohydrates because I don't need them. I work with fats. My body works better with fats. The same way there's people who go ketogenic all the way and they think they don't need shit. Yes, you do. There's people who need carbohydrates from time to time. It can be every 3 days, it can be every 4 days, it can be once a week, but they need it for thyroid purposes. Carbohydrates speed up the thyroid work, raise T3, T4, make it work. The same way with people that they don't need carbohydrates, they just need to raise their blood sugar just a little bit during the day, because they can perform great with fats. Their their body can go into a mycotosis super fast, so allows them to have a really happy and normal life. The same way there's people, they need a little bit of everything during the day. As an example, there's people who need carbohydrates, but they need a lot of fiber with them so they can digest it properly in a slow rate. Maybe a little bit of fat there, like a teaspoon of olive oil or any kind of oil that you want to use, or having it with red meat. In the long term, what it matters is that you feel great, so you can perform great at the gym or any kind of workout that you're doing, because that's gonna bring you in a matter of months consistency to seeing results. One of the things that I do there, like I was telling, there's several ways to know if you need them or don't need them. One of them is like how long can you go in the morning without carbohydrates, so you can really be sure if you need fats. Because there's people that know, oh, I need carbohydrates, but I'm fasting the whole day. That doesn't make any sense, because you're fasting, you're working with in a mild ketosis, or you're basically pulling glucose from the muscles in a slower rate until you go into a mild ketosis, and then you're going to have your meal by the end of the day. That doesn't make any sense. But they say I need carbohydrates, but I'm doing fasting. I laugh all those people. I'm basically 220 pounds, 6% body fat year round. So that's why a lot of people laugh. They think they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. The same way there's people who have to eat 3 hours on the clock because they will go catabolic. They don't know that protein absorption is digestion is one thing, and protein absorption is another thing. I laugh about that too, because if you eat 15 ounces or 12 ounces or 10 ounces of red meat, that's gonna take a while to just get assimilated. So you're not hungry at all. You just have appetite, which is gonna be another subject for later. Difference between hunger and appetite. That's something I will talk, because there's people, even with great bodies, they just like to overload the machinery. That's how I call it. Make it the organs overwork, or make them starve to death just to try to look good because they already went there. Meanwhile, they can having some cheat meals or some refeeds, or whatever you want to call it. They can have a happier life, and metabolically and hormonally they can be optimal, which is the idea of longevity and looking good and performing great. So going back to insulin sensitivity, if you every time that you eat carbs, the idea is to, when having carbs, is you absorb them completely. Your pancreas, or all our pancreas, they were designed to, every time that you have some kind of sugar or carbohydrate, to release insulin, which is the storage, the hormone for storage all that sugar into the muscles. Normally works that way. The thing is, nobody knows how much carbohydrates they need during the day. Approximately, with all the nutrition formulas around, you can, or basically in an empirical way, you can determine like how much you need. I need 150 grams, I need 200 grams, I need 350 grams. But if we go to a specific, really specific scientific way, it should be something like, maybe I will just need 36.75 grams of sugar. Nobody knows. So and since every day is different, every time that you go to the gym, probably the people who does bodybuilding type of workouts, it's not the same as a leg workout, as a shoulder workout. They're not the same. Except if you do one day you're doing squats, and the other day you're doing like clean and jerks, because you're basically working the whole body, the whole structure. It's not the same doing a chest workout than doing a bicep workout or a back workout when you're going to do deadlift or heavy rows. So the carbohydrate need is also going to fluctuate during the day, which so if you not like people on ketogenic diets, when they basically go in a flat line during the week, except for doing that targeted ketogenic diet, when they just eat a little bit of carbohydrates pre and post workout, sometimes pre, one of those. So I can rely on sugar for one part of my workout, depending the volume and the intensity, and then just go over there without, just keep working with my fats. For that kind of reason, every time that you eat a carbohydrate meal, you need to make sure that your pancreas is working properly, that your pancreas is shutting down nutrients in an efficient manner to the muscle, that the excess of carbohydrates is not going to turn into fat, it's not going to turn into adipose tissue, because that's the problem that I see with carbohydrates. Since nobody knows how much they need in a daily basis, remember, the brain can use in some cases 170 grams of glucose a day. That's a lot for thinking. In a high stress situation, can go even more. That's the reason, like I'm eating a ton of carbs, I still feel tired, maybe because your brain is sucking everything. So when you go to the gym after your high stress office job or your high stress administrative job, you feel like crap. The same way a construction worker will feel like crap after a heavy day of labor, and then go to the gym. Mentally can be happy, but physically can be feeling like crap. So you want your pancreas work as efficient as possible. You want to show the nutrients as much as you can. So there's things like this little guy here, Insulode, who works wonders. These people working, making this product, they nailed it. They did a great job designing it. That's one of my favorites for having pre-workout carbs on all my cheat days or my cheat weekends. I always pop 3 of these. So I have been seeing a difference in getting leaner and a faster rate, and getting muscles and achieving a great pump on the gym. So remember, because basically I'm putting all the carbohydrates, all that glucose into the muscle, and it's not going anywhere like my bloodstream was trying to be converted into fat. So there is remember, every time that you do carbs, you will need to have some help, because you're overloading your insulin production. You're forcing your pancreas to do too much. If you're going a ketogenic diet, your pancreas has been like paralyzed, has been shut off for a few hours, more than 18, 12, 8, a whole week. You don't want to be forcing the guy. That would be like waking up, like someone wake you up and push you to do a CrossFit workout, like without warming up, without food, without anything. Like basically you are working in the most crazy manner as always. So Insulo, recommended by me. It helps great. Great design, great formula. For people who are doing ketogenic diets, use it with every carb meal, like pre and post workout, or basically just pre-workout. Post-workout, you're gonna be like in absorptive state. And your cheat weekends and your cheat week and your cheat weekends and your cheat day. My clients know how to get stupidly lean in no time using cheat days and cheat weekends. And for people who are doing carb cycling or having of 5 meals, they're having 3 of carbs, use them so you don't overload you can help your pancreas. Become a friend, your pancreas. Don't make him make mistakes. Don't allow him to make mistakes like producing fat like out of nowhere. Just helping a little bit so you can see how you want to get leaner over time. Well, that was something about some nutritional insights. So how to work with your pancreas and not against your pancreas. Whatever. Look for me in my Instagram. Look for my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Any comments, any suggestions, any topics, podcast, always available. Peace.